Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Battlestar Galactica Season 3, Episode 3 and 4 together. I'm gonna watch them together, really together. I'm not gonna make a quick review after the Episode 3 for once, because I don't have a lot of time right now to watch these two episodes, and I want to watch them today. Because after what happened during the episode 1 and 2 of this season 3, I'm like that, you know? I really want to know what is gonna be next, and I know that the episodes 3 and 4 are working together, so I want to see them on the same day. So that's why I have to hurry a little and to not make a quick review of the episode 3. For those who are wondering, I'm still in confinement. For those who are wondering, I'm not going mad crazy and I'm just waiting for the end of this confinement. Like the 11th of May, I'm like that waiting for it. And that's it. The weather is better, so my mood is better. It's working like that with me. For Battlestar Galactica, for this season 3, I'm really loving it, for sure. I love it because it's really like a new page, a new book that we are opening with Battlestar Galactica. A lot of things changed, you know, for the characters, for the story, because now we are in space with the fleet who ran away and they want to come back to save people on New Caprica, and some of them want just to live, to survive, like the Pegasus and the Galactica don't have the same ambition for life, you know, they don't have the same goal. Lee and his father don't have the same intention, goal and all of that, so we'll see how it's gonna turn out right there into space. But also on the ground, on New Caprica, we have Cylons which are using humans, you know, for some kind of farms, you know, with Starbuck. Like she is raped by that Cylon who wants her to fall in love with him. He is trying to manipulate her by telling her that this is her kid, maybe this is really her kid or maybe not, but that's a way to manipulate her, that's a way for having what he wants, her falling in love with him. I'm still wondering about that, you know, the fact that is she really her kid or not, because they gave me the impression that he didn't succeed to take Starbuck's ovaries. Like they were, you know, so excited about Boomer's baby that I can't really think that they succeeded with Starbuck ovaries. I really don't think so. I don't know, we'll see. We have Cylons who are also kidnapping people, innocent people, to execute them just to give the other ones a lesson, you know, because they have resistance to deal with. The resistance is posing bombs, but also making martyrs, you know, with suicidal missions and, you know, a lot of stuff like that. Like I said at the end of the two last episodes, during my review about the two last episodes, it was difficult for me to watch the episodes without thinking about French history, you know, during the World War II, the resistance, the collaboration, how it turned out for everyone, the reasons that everyone had. So that's why, you know, during the episodes I had a lot of things to process. The time jump, what happened during the time jump, the characters, where they are now into their lives, what roles they are playing now, what powers they can have now, what people are just doing, you know, the actions, what was happening, the consequences of it, what can happen in the future for everyone, all of the questions that we have about Battlestar Galactica since the beginning, and also the emotions that they brought me with what was happening into the show, but also with what I was reminding about French history and my family memories because of that, you know, of that parallel that I was making into my mind into the show, what was happening into the show and what happened during World War II. So I had a lot of things to deal with during these two first episodes. I'm gonna try my best during these two ones to not think about this parallel, you know, between what is happening into the show and World War II, even if I'm still sure that it's a huge inspiration, you know, for the writers, how they made it, you know. Of course it's made on purpose and it's really well done and well written, like it's well translated to that world, to the show, and I can appreciate that and I can really see that. And really for me the show with this season, it really went deeper into the emotions, but also into dark things, you know, like martyrs and all of that. Because, you know, during the 2 first seasons, our guys, you know, they were representing humanity who was trying to survive, and they were dealing with big subjects, you know, big things to have to deal with, you know. They were exploring dark things also, but each time we were surviving, we were having hope, we were still going to find Earth, and we had really hope, you know, and we were free and all of that. Right there, we are not free, we don't have anything to hope for, and we are dealing with an enemy who has a control on us and who can kidnap us and kill us just like that. Okay, Kali survived because she ran away because of that guy releasing her, like, that was your fault, you know, you kidnapped her and now you're releasing her. I'm like, yes, thank you, but not really. And what about the other ones? And what about the ex-president Laura and Zarek? Did they just die? I'm not sure of that. And same for Boomer and Anders. They were into a trap because of Helen telling that to the priest Cylon. I don't know. I'm really lost. Like, I don't want Zarek and the ex-president Laura to die because I think that they are important characters. But I can't see a solution, you know. How can they not be dead now? You know my rule, you know that I didn't see their bodies. I'm not gonna believe into it yet, but I don't see how they didn't die, but we'll see. And same for Boomer and Anders. I think that they're gonna die also. How can they not die just right there? Kali, okay, she's gonna run away, but she can't return to the chief and all of that because they're gonna know that she escaped if she will do that. So again, question mark, a big question mark for that. The only character for who I don't have any question mark, it's Gaius. If it's not the fact that is he a Cylon or not. He's the president, he surrendered, he accepted and signed everything that they wanted, you know, the Cylons. Okay, he was crying and okay, at first he was not okay with that, but at the end he did it no matter what. At the end he was in denial or not, like to say to the president that the colonel was not tortured. Really, you're in a fucking denial. He's dealing with his conscience, you know, that's his issue, and you know what I think about that. Like, okay, he did a lot of that to survive, to not die, but for not dying, you are okay that 200 of people are gonna die? That's your choice. I don't know what I would have done, you know, if I would have been put into that situation, but I know what the other characters would have done. So Gaius didn't do that. Not because he's a fucking coward, not because he's who he is, you know, because he's embracing the silent side and all of that. No, he's not embracing the silent side. We are seeing that. So not because of that, but because he's not brave enough. That's not the same. You know, to be a fucking coward or to not be brave enough. That's not the same in my opinion. He's not embracing the silent side, that's at least something great. He's just letting them do their stuff. Is it great or not, you know? Is it collaboration or not? That was a big question after the World War II in France for those who didn't collaborate but who were okay with what was happening and didn't do anything, who just survived. That was a big question, and see, again, a lot of things are reminding me of my country history with the big H. So That's difficult. But I promise I'm gonna try during these 2 episodes to not think about it all along the episodes. I'm gonna stop right now and I'm gonna watch the 2 episodes together without making a review about the first episode because I don't have a lot of time and because they are working together, so I'm gonna watch them just like that. And also I'm gonna eat during the episode. I'm sorry for you if it's disturbing for the noise, but I'm hungry. That's it. Let's go for this episode 3. I'm saying that it's the episode 3 because I'm counting, 20 episodes on the season 3. I saw that on some websites, that were not counting the number of episodes of this season the same. You're gonna know that. For me, there are 20 episodes for this season 3 and I'm watching right now the episode 3 because that was episode 1 and episode 2. The 2 first episodes. That was not just 1 episode for me. I'm gonna take a little break and then I'm gonna make the review. You're not gonna see the difference, but in France it's 8 p.m. soon and it's the time, when we are cheering for the medical staff outside of our homes. In France we are doing that since the beginning of the confinement at 8 p.m. We are cheering for the medical staff to show them our support. So I'm gonna do that and then I will be back for the review of these 2 episodes together. Okay, I'm back. I did my clap, for the medical staff, so now I'm back and I can talk about these 2 episodes together. I'm feeling exhausted. After these 4 episodes together, today I watched the 4 first episodes of this season 3, I'm feeling exhausted. My emotions, really, I want like that. No, not like that. I'm lying. It was not like that. I was like that and like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, I was like that. Like I never went down. I was always up, my emotions were always high, like usually, but higher than usually with this show in particular, because they got me during the last 2 seasons. Sometimes they've got me. I cried during these 2 last seasons, but I never were so in tension for them. Like we really didn't have any time out, any time where I was just like, okay, that's okay, I can drink, I can eat. No, each time I was like, I'm gonna miss something, I need to focus. That was exhausting. My mind is really like, whew, we did it. Now we're gonna be like, okay. I can't resume all of what happened during these 2 last episodes. Too many things happened. We have to consider, where all of the characters are now at the end of the episode 4. We have all of the fleet back together on the Galactica and on the other ships. We lost the Pegasus. I cried during that moment, but I was not crying for the Pegasus. Like, you know me, you saw my reaction videos about the last season. I never loved that ship, never. It was representing something that I didn't like at all, and I'm not sad that we had to let it, being destroyed. It was a good plan, it was a good call to make. I love that Lee wants to save them, I love that. And we had the Irish music when they were reunited, and that's so great. Lee found himself, back when he did that, because he has that on him, this savior syndrome that he had during the 2 last seasons. Of course, after the time jump and after the 4 months, that was not enough, for him to not have this syndrome anymore, to save everyone. Of course he was gonna do it, but they made me doubt about it during some seconds. I was like, they're not gonna die, they're not gonna die, they're not gonna die. And the camera was really like, like that, and I was like, we're gonna see the Galactica exploding, that's it, we're gonna see it exploding from there. And no, they went for what? 5 seconds? 10 seconds? I'm gonna put right there, right here, on the subtitles. During how many seconds they made me doubt and they made me think really that we were not gonna survive, that the Galactica was gonna be destroyed. That was little seconds, but that was enough for me to have this mental breakdown. Like, that was a pure mental breakdown. I was not believing into it, I was desperate, I believed into it, I was crying, then I was losing because I was wrong and they want to save them, and then I was crying again. I hate myself. During that kind of moment, I hate myself because I'm like, really, you fall into that trap and you fall into it deeper. Like, you cried. Why did you cry? You know me, my emotions are never little, they are always high, so of course I was gonna cry. I'm tired of myself. But yes, the Pegasus is out, that's over, it's destroyed. We are on the Galactica with all of the fleet, you know, Hilo, Boomer, the Chief, Kali, their kid, Adama's father, Adama's son, Dee, Starbuck, Anders, we are all there, all alive. That's great. Not the Colonel's wife, we lost Helen, but for the main characters we have all of them still alive. We are missing Helen because she's dead, and we are missing also Hera, you know, Boomer's baby. They think that she's dead. That's not great, because now what the Cylons are gonna do with that Cylon human baby, now that they have her. But that's really like, ta-da! You know, they told to everyone that Hera was dead for the Cylons, not knowing that in fact she was alive, and now they think that the baby is dead, and in fact she is not dead, she's with the Cylons. Really, bang! Ping pong! Now it's you who are believing that she's dead, and in fact she's not. But Boomer still think that she was dead since the beginning. Is she gonna discover the truth or not? That would be great. That, you know, if they are talking about that, it would be great, because she would say that this Cylon, the journalist Cylon, thought that she was not, and maybe they're gonna have this hope that in fact she is not dead. Maybe that can be great. In fact, that's not gonna be great during the moment, you know, when they're gonna talk about it. But the conclusion of it can be good. We'll see. Starbuck, I'm sorry for her that it was not her kid, but I knew it. Like, I never doubted really about it. For that, they didn't get me, you know, they didn't make me doubt. They said so much that they didn't succeed, you know, and they were waiting for Boomer's baby. Like that, like with so much excitement, like of course they didn't succeed with another kid. It was not logical. I think that Starbuck didn't really believe that it was her kid, but it was a kid that she was taking care of, and maybe at some point she thought that she was gonna be her mom. You know what I mean? But I don't think that she really thought that it was hers. Because all of what she said to that kid, it was not like, I'm your mommy, I'm gonna take care of you, and all of that. It was, I'm sorry that I was not with you, I'm sorry that you had this accident, that was not your fault because that was my fault, that was me dealing with my stuff and I shouldn't have done that. Like, I don't think that she really thought that it was her kid. I hope that someday she is gonna have a kid. I want to see her as a mom with so little of it, and she was good at it. I want to see that. Of course I want to see that with Lee, but still now, like, we had a time jump of 1 year and we had another time jump of 4 months. So 1 year and a half passed, you know, and she's still with Anders, she's married with Anders, and Lee is still with Dee, they are married also. My ship, you know, between Lee and Starbuck, I can't be further to it to happen, you know. Can it be worst for this ship to really happen one day? I'm not sure. Right now I'm like, that's the worst situation possible. Like, they're happy, all of them, in their marriage. But maybe we're gonna discover what happened during the time jump. Why they were not friends anymore. What really happened? I want to see that. I want to understand that. because I still can't understand why Starbuck had to go on the ground, you know, to live on the ground, or why did she choose that? She was a fucking pilot, so to give up on that, something bad really happened. But okay, we have the fleet and all of them alive, yes, yes, yes. We have the baby still alive, yes, yes, yes. But the baby is now with the silence. What are they gonna do with her? I don't know. And we have Gaius with Caprica. I'm having so many questions about them. They didn't join the fleet, we didn't see them with the fleet. But they didn't go also with the silence. Did they? Maybe they did. But you know, Gaius is still haunted by the woman in red. Is she, you know, Caprica, is she also haunted by a ghost Gaius? Are they still haunted by the ghost of the person with who they are, really? You know, it's almost like they're haunted by the old version of these persons, you know, the versions of these persons for who they fall in love. Because I'm not sure that there is love anymore between them. I mean, Gaius, he changed during all of these years. He was attached to that memory, but he was also with the number 6 on the cloud 9. He was in love, I think, with that person, and she killed herself and it broke him. Did they talk about that? Did she know about that, Caprica? And Caprica, same, like we can see that she's not really happy of what Gaius became. Gaius, he can't come back in the fleet. That's not possible anymore. He's gonna go with the silence for sure. But what can you do with the silence? Maybe give them information. But you know, during this episode, he was not brave, I said it a lot. Not brave enough to make the decisions that he had to take, like to, okay, be killed, just to not kill everyone, to do stuff like that. But he was not embracing the silent side also. I don't know. Gaeta is alive. That's great. I was really suspecting him to die. Him threatening Gaius in front of Caprica was like, okay, he's gonna die, Gaeta is gonna die. No, please don't die. He didn't die. He's on the fleet, we saw him. But he's gonna say that he let Gaius escape. I hope that they're not gonna be mad at Gaeta. I hope that they're not gonna do things to Gaeta like, ha ha ha, you betrayed us, you were working for Gaius. Come on, the other guy, you know, he was also working for the silence. He kidnapped Kali. Okay, he released her, he helped her to escape, but he was working for the silence. He helped kidnap all of these persons for killing them at the end. So that's gonna be something important, you know. And I'm sorry to say it and to make the comparison like I did during my review of the 2 first episodes, but these 4 episodes remind me a lot of World War II, of the story of my country, you know, of France, with the resistance, with the collaboration, with executions, with suicidal missions and all of that. That was also a big question after World War II. What are you doing to the ones who collaborated, willingly or not? What are you doing with the ones who were just trying to survive but who had to do things, you know, to survive that they're not really proud of? What are you doing also to the ones who were just trying to survive but who didn't do anything, you know, to avoid something to happen? That was big questions, you know, when the war was over. How do you treat these people? Who are you considering as traitor or not? Where is the limit? And what are you doing with these persons? That's gonna be a big question that they're gonna be forced to ask, I think, during the next episode. For Gaeta, for this boy, you know, who was working on the deck, I can't remember his name, with a lot of persons like them. But you know, the colonel, he had to kill his wife, so he's not gonna accept if they are not doing something bad to the other ones, you know, who worked with the silence. You understand what I mean? He had to kill his wife? Is he gonna accept that Gaeta or the guy will not die? I'm sad for the colonel, I'm really sad. Can you believe it? I cried for Helen, me. She was annoying and I didn't like her character, but she was sincere. Even if I didn't agree with her and even if she was annoying for me and all of that, she was sincere at being annoying. Oh fuck. I'm really feeling exhausted and it's already 8 p.m. and an half in France. 8:30. I can't remember how you're saying it in English. I think that it's 8:30. That was a good afternoon, you know, to spend with Battlestar Galactica. This season is so great already because we were, you know, in an all new thing, world, rules, characters. Now we're back on space, so we're gonna find, you know, the old habits that we had on space, but they changed, the characters changed, and the situation changed. So that's gonna be interesting to follow how they're gonna manage with all of that. We'll see. So it's all for Battlestar Galactica for you and for me for today. So it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Great.